Aaron week continues here at SunTrust Park, and you guys know the clean throwback jerseys they've been wearing from 1974. This is always a special time when they're able to bring them back. Well, this man right here, he was the brains behind that. This is Wayland Moore, and you designed these jerseys, and you were just saying, how cool is it to look out on the field and to see them wearing them?
Right now, with them, we're wearing the uniforms of 74 tonight. I feel like it's 1974. But I was back then, I'm an artist, sports artist, and they gave me a white uniform and said, Wayland, come up with something that Hank Aaron will like and we will like, because he will be setting history and breaking Babe Ruth's record. So, excuse me, but anyway, I had two models, Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews. So I would design one, and then we would have it made, and they would wear it out on the field, just the three of us. And up until the last moment, all the blue that you see on the arms was red. And because I felt red was a nice color. Well, Hank turned to me one day and said, Wayland, I like blue. So you see we have blue, which is great. But one thing about the uniform, when we're on the road, the upper part of the uniform switches color. All the white you see turns blue. And the reason for that is, up until that time, all road uniforms were just almost terrible to look at. They were grays, no color. So I said, why don't, because we're watching it on television, why don't we have a uniform that we enjoy? So that's the reason I kept the white pants, but I did go to the dark blue shirt. And everyone seemed to like it. And so jokingly, as two little boys from the South, I loved art. Hank loved the baseball and bat. And one day, and this was our dream, I would say, because I never played ball, because even though I'm big enough, but I just love to paint and color and sketch. And then one day we came together. He was playing with the Braves, and the Braves asked me when I would become their graphics director, which I did for about 2.5 years there. And that's the way it all started. So all of you kids and adults out there, dreams do come true. And because they did for Hank and I.
They are incredible jerseys, and you know what I think a lot of people love about them is the feather on the side of the arm. What originated? Where did that come from?
Well, at that time, when the Braves moved to Atlanta, we were still carrying the Indian head on the uniform, and so I wanted to get away from that, and so the next best thing is use a feather. So that's the reason the feather came up on the uniform.
Well, like I mentioned, incredible uniforms and a very special week, and it's really cool to look out. I know the players are so enjoying wearing these. You did an incredible job with them. So you got your work in Cooperstown. This man has done a great job, Chip and Joe.
If I may interrupt one more time. Of course, I live in Atlanta, and I teach an art class at Emory University, and I still paint, and but I was in New York because that's where most of my work came out of. And I went to Cooperstown because I knew that they had shipped Hank's locker, full locker, to Cooperstown. And I walk in there, everything was right except one thing. They had the present uniform they were wearing then hanging on the hanger in Hank's locker. And I called the individual in charge over, and I said, it looks great, but you've got a mistake. And he said, what do you mean I've got a mistake? And I said, that's not the uniform that he hit 715 in. Well, you can imagine the phone calling and the shipping, and so, but that was a mistake.
Well, we're happy you were able to catch on it, and Wayland, thank you so much for your time. Hey, you guys, we still got this game going on. Hank Aaron week, Braves and Orioles. We'll be right back after the break.
Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, and Kurt Suzuki are going to lead off for Atlanta, trailing 4-1. What a great historical reminiscence-filled interview with Wayland Moore, the man that designed these uniforms for the Braves back in the 70s.
Yeah, and I'd like for him to know that my last year at Oklahoma, it inspired us.
Oh, really?
We got new uniforms, and that's exactly what we did at Oklahoma. And he was talking about the red, so we had the crimson panels on the sleeves with a Sooner schooner instead of a feather, and flipped it around. We had white and red.
They really were modern looking, so very different looking from anything else that the Braves had worn back in the 70s, which really was an innovative time in Major League uniforms. The V-neck was really a popular thing that came about.
Well, and the pajama bottoms had just about...
First pitch swing by Freddie. It's skied toward Jones in center. And Adams is there for the first out.
It was nice to see belts back.
Yeah.
Instead of the drawstring pajama bottom looking pants.
Well, for guys like me, we kind of like the Sansa belt look. There was a couple of snaps. You remember those?
Yes.
And then, growing up in St. Louis, there were some fans who loved them. I was one who didn't. But the interchangeable colors of the Pittsburgh Pirates uniforms, the gray, the black, the pinstripes, and they'd sometimes wear the gold pants with the black top, all that crazy stuff. Kind of like what the Diamondbacks do with their uniforms now. But in that era, my favorite non-Braves and non-Cardinals uniform was Oakland's. That green and gold that Charlie Finley had out there.
The white shoes.
Oh, man. Because you don't see green on uniforms too often.
It was Fort Knox gold.
Right.
Wedding gown white. And I can't remember the green.
May have been U.S. Treasury green. But those were such innovative and so unique because, again, you have teal now. You have, like in Seattle, the uniforms have, a cedar tree color green, whatever you want to call it.
That's what I call it.
But nobody has that Kelly green on the uniform, and it really stands out.